Hey everybody, DayTraderRockStar here. A little after hours research and kind of an updated watch list for tomorrow going into Wednesday. A little recap of the day. Tomorrow is going to be April 14th, and we have the IPO of Coinbase is going to be out there, and a lot of interest going into that. Palantir is still moving up here. We got some stocks on the screen right now. Let me move this over here so you can see what I'm looking at better. There we go. I'm going to bring up my other charts. So we're going to go over a few stocks that are looking really good for follow through tomorrow, and some other things real fast. Not probably be doing this. It's not. I'm going to probably pause and do this watch list kind of on the run here, and then I'll be pausing it, editing it as it go along. So just talking to some of the members, some of the people on the YouTube channel, looking at some stocks right now, but there is a few stocks that are really keyed up for tomorrow. Some big reversals. The big reversals in the PaySafe, which we've been waiting for this thing to I keep on putting down PowerSafe, but it's PaySafe, PSFE. We'll call a piercing pattern. We take out the lows, we close about 50% of the previous candle. We're right there. It's a good piercing pattern. It's also an X marks the spot trend line. Very tough trend line to read back here, but it is one. I mean, there is two pivots. If you drew that straight line, we are coming right under here. It makes a lot of sense. We're oversold, and this is a possible crypto play also to pay safe with their wallets. There's a lot of interaction with crypto with the PaySafe. So with that and the hype tomorrow going into Coinbase, I'm sure all these are going to have a good day. This one I've been waiting for this thing to start to show some strength, and today it decent enough reversal, and I could see that reversal happening. We kind of held on most of the day and then started rallying at the end of the day, and even after hours we're working our way up. So it's actually looking very strong after hours. So it's a great sign for tomorrow, even though the futures are down just to 175, not much. So I'm looking for follow through on this. This is a swing trade. I think we could start to move up off of this trend line. $15. I mean, we just work our way up here. We'll see how far we get and what shows up here. But remember, volume is key on all these. Really want to see increasing volume on anything that we get into. If we're starting to see some good candles and start movement, if that volume starts to come in, there's a better chance that that's going to continue day over day. We haven't seen that too much, but tomorrow I think we're going to see that. It's going to be interesting. I did listen to I had Kramer in the background today, and he brought up a point, and this happened a few months ago when we had some big IPOs, is where money gets sucked out of other parts of the market for people to get into these big IPOs. That who knows where Coinbase is going to open, but you're going to sell something. A lot of people are going to be out there selling things so they can get into this, and that's fine. But I've seen this happen. It was interesting that Kramer mentioned that you could see it tomorrow, and I have to agree with him. I really have to agree with him on that. The potential of seeing some selling in other things. So that's going to be a big one. We got out of our PFPT, which did break out. This was an HPS divergence setup, and again, I went over it a lot on the on the HPS video. Talked about the divergence between the highs and the lows and the stochastics, and how the stochastics were moving down, but the price actually was moving up slightly from here to here, really hidden underneath that, but that gave us a good signal, and today it hit our target. Not to say it can't go higher. I do expect this to take out all-time highs, but we strike when we see a good trade. So that is gone. I am holding Google L. I still think this is a $500 trade. I think it goes up 500 points into the earnings on May 4th. May 4th. Well, I'm not messing with the options on this, even though you could. I'm actually buying some shares. I only and you don't have to buy a lot to see a good return on this. 5-10 shares, this thing moves, and you see things start to move fast on that. So that is holding that tight. And then EXEL started to move, acted a little bit better. Well, the after hours is not doing much, but if we closed out here and it's just choppy, I wouldn't count this. There's probably no trade, no volume on this. 20 shares that dropped us from 23.50 to 22.98. It's BS. It should be up here, and the candle should reflect that on the daily. That's the problem with some, so that candle should actually be up here. But the fact is, we're putting in a higher low and a higher high, and we scallop back up. I talked a lot today about scalloping in the market, where you start to see a change of trend. And whenever you have a trending market, lots of times you'll move aggressively higher, gap up, hitting your high, rotate down, and then rotate right back up. And I call this down here at 22, right when, we pulled back down into 23 midday. I said, I'm looking for this to rotate back up to 23.40. When we start to see that, that means the trend is intact, and that is really a great sign of a stock. I never really get worried if I do see a good trend and the stock pulls back. I always expect it to come back and retest those highs. So we actually did that in the XCL, even though we had this little bar down here. It makes it kind of whatever. So expecting this to continue to finally break out, but we have to see the volume on this, and we didn't have that volume. Remember, the key on this is going to be volume, big candle and volume, coming in. So we love to get a candle and close it on the highs. This is very close to breaking out. Watch for volume on this. Just to recap on that, I added to my TREB here. I added to this because I know that this is due for an announcement on a merger. Now I have the warrants on this. This is another SPAC, and again, I'm actually taking the warrant side of this. Let me see. Let's go back to the warranty or EB, and it's nothing really to say other than there was kind of a little divergence here. It's almost a penny stock. You consider this a penny stock, but once they come out with the news and they announce some type of news, if we get over that 2020, I'm going to get my shares taken from. I'm going to sell them. I have an order in pre-market whenever it happens. To take me out 75% of my shares. I have 1,000 shares, 1,000 warrants right now. And like I said, I think you can get a 40% trade on this. So that we're looking at $4,400 trade just on this move up to 220 on an announcement. And then from that point on, who cares? It could probably come back down. This will happen pre-market. It'll be like a candle like this. Maybe it pops to 250, but on the way up, I'll be taking out most of my position. So we got that, and then let's see here, a couple other ones here. I've been watching this one. I'm not doing anything. EWTX. I've been watching this Edgewise Therapeutics. Oh, my screen? Damn. Well, you guys have to be on top of me, huh? Sorry about that. But I have it on my screen. I have it on the video. EWTX. EWTX. Big pennant, broke down out of the pennant. No position. We're just watching it. These are the stocks we went over this week, last Friday for this week. Just updating you everything here, updating you. So new position today in JD, and so actually I'll move that down right to here. This is our position right here today on this reversal candle. An interesting name, a tag of the 200, a very nice channel, and had the channel breakout and a little retracement back to the channel line. We trade this. This is what we call an HPS playbook trade. It's called channel breakout, rotation back to the channel line, the breakout line. It's not a big move up out of this, but just enough to kind of bring us back in. I like the candle. I like everything about it. I like the rotation down here. We're oversold. We kind of have a double bottom. So that's the reason we're looking at this one. Now, there is the possibility of this channel. I mean, I don't want to put it up there, but say we just put it up there for now. Say this channel here rotates back down. Well, probably mess up that trade, but there would be a good buy zone down here, which would be a 200 EMA channel line bounce, where we break down through the 200 period moving average and come to the underlying trend line on the channel. So whenever you have a channel cutting through 200 cutting through a channel, usually you either go in one direction. You're either popping off of this and breaking out, or you're coming down to the other trend line. And this is a standard buy signal right down here, if it gets down there. I'm hoping that we break out here, but either case, this is a good trade coming up. I had a buy trigger on there at 82, so 82 would really confirm a nice move on that, even though that's I got in now. Net had the big move. Probably could see some follow through. This will eventually get back up to the highs. Big move today announced with a deal with Nvidia, and it was off to the races and actually showing good relative strength. Now it's 8:02 right now. After hours is closed. So everything here closed up pretty good. PFFC 1358, the Palantir 2541. Futures are just kind of just drifting lower here. Not much going on with it. There is a divergence here. Right here. See what happens from this, but it doesn't look like any activity going on. Everyone's sitting around the dinner table. Only true traders are out doing the market research right now, and the kids are at the table. Where's Daddy? Oh, it's actually 8 o'clock. Dinner's over. Dinner's over. Good news out of Boeing today. Boeing, BA. I have a couple of calls left in this, and this was a kind of a pop on the news. It came back down. 50 held up and then grinded back up. Love to see this finally get going for the follow through day tomorrow. That definitely has potential. Nice outside day. Outside days, very very similar to an engulfing pattern. The difference between an engulfing pattern and an outside day. An engulfing pattern is when the body here of the candle engulfs is bigger than the previous body. An outside day is where the low is lower than the previous low and the high is higher than the previous high. So this is actually a better candle. The outside day, because it kind of flushes out the lows, ends near the highs, meaning sellers kind of gave it up, buyers have taken over, and that's how that looks right now. It's holding the 20 period moving average. Love to get a major move on this. I mean, we've had some big days on Boeing. One back here and one here. They don't come around too often. This is the average range, usually is what we saw today. But Boeing does look good. Boeing looks really good. And Boeing's probably going to jump up there because you have a lot of upside here on Boeing. You have $300 above us and back. That's a good number right there. 300. You have a bigger channel line. If I could get that channel line up here. I'm not even going to look at that, but I mean, yeah. Let's take a look at, so if we were going to go out here and say, all right, let's put a little money into this, a little bit more. Let's take a look at the option chain. On Boeing, and let's say we're going to hold this. We want to give it some time. So you have 10 days, you got 17 days going out to April 30th, 17 days. I like that. I like the 17-day move here. The 252s are $8, $9. All right, I could roll with this. Let me see, go back out here. 3 days, 10 days, 17 days. I want to go with the 17 days. 255s are $8. 250s are in the money. They're $10, $1,000 a contract. So, you know, basically what you're looking at here is just one contract is $10, $8, eight, or, you know, $9 actually. This is about $8. So I'm looking at the 255s. I think that's doable, around $8. Get a couple contracts in this. You know, I just know. I remember the last time I got into some Boeing and it came out with another problem. It's like every time I get into Boeing, it's like plane is having an issue. It's like clockwork. But this looks good. I want to be part of Boeing more. I think we get 300 pretty fast. Probably get a good upgrade in Boeing too. Get this thing going. So I want to be in this instead of out of it. All right. So I'll probably end up getting those, going out, getting those for tomorrow. Going out to the 30th. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So that goes to one of the top of the list there. Look at that divergence over here, this double bottom divergence right here. Not a double bottom, but a dual divergence, a 9.3 and a 14.3 right here at beginning of February into March, and then March had a big pop. We pulled back. This is a little retracement. All right, so I'm really on board on this Boeing. Snowflake here has the potential for another big day. Starting to break out of a little channel now. I could probably adjust this and probably give us a little more room before we get up to that. If we look at the closing prices, that's where I should have actually put that trend line. It's right around there. So truth is, we're actually 251 is that trend line above us, and that's also where the 50-period moving average is. 249. I think that's going to be our target. 249 to 250. Nice. All right, I'm happy with that too. And you can see it's been consolidating. It came back up. Breakout here would be 240. I think that happens tomorrow. We've saw good strength in it today. Volume wasn't anything special. This Interactive Corp, IAC, Barry Diller's Interactive Corp, very close to breaking out. Again, a breakout would probably give us a nice run, probably 5 to 10 points. And we're getting close to that level. Something to watch. IAC, I'm going through a bunch of these. Again, the Teledoc, not my favorite right now. IPO. Zendesk is also another good one. It's pushing back up. Proofpoint did that one. DraftKings. See, we kind of broke that. We talked about maybe a possible head and shoulders, maybe this topping pattern that comes up when you have a channel. Double top, bounce, and then we kind of roll over. And we took out that a bit. I like the pay safe better. Edward Life Sciences, Fair Globe. and again the JD. So we did start that one. We're good on that. Costco has really taken off. Cureleaf has come back a lot. 1440, drifting back. Not a lot. I shouldn't say that much. It's been really holding on pretty good. Archway did that one. Corning here still very strong. It looks like we got another divergence, 5-minute divergence on the Rockbot. I don't know if there was a 1-minute divergence there. I'm going to have to reset that too. Just running through some things here real fast. At a CVM, let's talk about the CVM. Again, two ways of this is going. It's either going way up here or way down here. When they come up with the news, I think they could run it in one direction or another. Fake run it one way or another, just because everyone's waiting for the news. So it's kind of on edge here. So any type of volume or any type of rumor out there could probably get this thing going in one direction or another. I would expect to see a pop, but we'll see. So that is definitely on the list going forward. I have a position long short on that. And 36. All right. Let's take a look at the next list here. I have very fast. Here's a classic head and shoulders on the IPI, Intrepid to Potash, top of the trend line, broke down, retest, right shoulder. That's how it works. I'm not a big, I don't trade head and shoulders completely out of this. It's enjoyable to see the setup, the potential setup. Of course, we always want to short the top of the trend line. Always want to go long into weakness. In an uptrending stock, but there's no position there for me. Going through all this, I did a good scan of a lot of different stocks. Other than the momentum names that come out with news, we might get into. I'm really liking that Boeing for follow through tomorrow on the news today. Closed near the highs, 254. I think we can move right up to 260 and finally get going to 300. So I want to add to those calls. We'll see how the market opens up tomorrow, but as we see, kind of a little bounce right now, going back, almost back in positive territory. So looking at that, and I do like the PSFE here. We get that back over 14. That's really going to confirm a change of trend here. It looks like we have a decent trend line down. So back over 14 would confirm that. Probably get a lot more movement. That's not too far up either. It's 42 cents. We'll see where we open up on that. Not out of the woods yet on these SPAC type of plays. And then, of course, the EXEL. I'm waiting for that. I like it. I'd like to see this thing move more. It's scalloped back up to the highs at 240. Looks good. So those are the top runners. I mean, maybe Snow, maybe some other ones. I want to get this out to you, everyone. Wise Key is a lot of people watching the Wise Key down here at low 9s. I think it would break down to the 8s, but I think we probably could trade that on news tomorrow. If you get in under 9, I'm sure there's going to be some news that's going to pop at about 50 cents. The thing is, everyone thinks it's going, to the moon. In some cases, it does go to the moon. But in some cases, those bounces have become less and less. But it's due now. It's due. So I think you get back. You could add to it down here. Maybe you could enter in down here. Wait until it gets under 9 into that 8 area. Put it sell in for 20%, 20-30% move on this. Up around $11. It's something to watch. All right, and I want to get this out. We're going to I'm going to be here a little bit longer. It's 8:41. I'll get in the room and shoot some crap with some people here. All right, so let me get this out here. that's about it. Just a little update, and for those out there who got to hear it live, that's good for you too. All right, we'll see you in the markets tomorrow, bright and early. DayTraderRadio.com, 7:30. That's when the show officially starts, when I get on the mic. And as you can see, it's about 8:42 right now, so putting a long day in today. Let's send this out. Let's send it to the internet.